So it's just that just leads to this whole morality issue. Atheists, where do you get your morals from if you don't have this God telling you what to do? Obviously you have no sense of morality. Well, your sense of morality is that you can basically, whatever you do wrong, you just ask for forgiveness and you're good to go. You're getting to heaven. You get to live for eternity with bliss. While other people who don't ask for forgiveness and who don't believe are sent to hell and tortured for eternity.
Well, yeah, and I'd like to say this. Whenever people talk about morality, okay, does everything your God do is moral? Everything he does, if he says it's moral, then it's okay. Or is it your God set the standard for morality, but you can break them and he can be forgiven. So if you say that everything your God does is moral because he's God and he's the one who made morality, then slavery would be moral. Killing another person would be very moral. If you rape someone, as punishment, they become your wife.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, Chad.
God
said so.
I don't think those three things are immoral.
I like how you brought that up because when I lived in Alabama, I got super huge into philosophy, and one of my favorite philosophers of all time is Socrates, and there's this thing called Euthyphro's dilemma where Socrates was talking to him, and he's like, Euthyphro's like, well, I have to go to trial. This person did something wrong. I have to go. The gods, it's against what the gods want, and they have to be punished. And Socrates is like, well, is it wrong because the gods say it's wrong, or do the gods say it's wrong because it's wrong? What is it? Does morality come from God himself? Is it whatever he says goes, or is there some sort of code above him?
Yeah, that he can't
that he can't change.
Yeah,
like which one is it?
Yeah. I mean,
are the laws unchanging, or is it up to God?
Yeah, and then if there's a moral system above him, why is he needed? Why is he needed to delegate human free will? Why is he needed?
Or if it's from him, but he can't change it, then
that makes no sense.
That makes no sense. Yeah. So what is it? Are things moral because God says so, or is it out of his control?
Well, it's like he signed a contract, Matthew.
Oh, yeah.
He signed a contract with himself because he was the only one there. And he made this contract, and it's legally binding. And he can be sued if he breaks it. So that is why.
I mean, he did sacrifice himself to himself, so he can definitely sue himself.
Yeah, now he can sue himself if he wanted to, but I don't think he can afford
it. Because, I mean, that's why he's always asking for money, right?
You're damn right.
Like, the reason God's asking for tithes and money from churches is because he's trying to build up enough money.
Legal case against himself.
He's trying to build up a legal case against himself, and he can't afford himself as a lawyer.
He can't afford himself as a lawyer. So he's going to be the judge, jury, and executioner.
That would take a lot of money to pay for all that. So if he's all
that would be a very lonely play. If you're playing the plaintiff, the defendant, the judge, the jury, the executioner. That's 5 roles, and that's a... I don't even think Jim Carrey could pull that off. He's pretty damn good.
Wow.
Oh, guys, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, come on.
And that's just... The goddamn book is full of that stuff. Like, how... It really upsets me when people say that, you know what, this is true and you have to believe it. Because, like, if you really read it, just really read the stuff that's in this book and think about it, and then you'll just be like, you know what, this is fucking retarded, and I don't believe this anymore. So the whole and that doesn't even have to say that you will end up not believing in a god or whatever. It's just that these specific religions that have sprouted up,
they're so flawed.
You can
there are a bunch of preachers and pastors who are atheists, but they can't withdraw from their duty. They just feel they can't.
They can't. Yeah,
they feel they're stuck.
They have their lives
because they know that book front and back, and they're like, "This is some crazy shit."